Bonjour, Rauta friends. Now it's time for a real old band. This one is actually from the 1980s, so it's like 30 years in the making, or been 30 years in the business. This one is called Mortuary and the Autophagous Rain. Now, most of you probably don't even know the band, and no wonder really, even though the band has been there for like 30 years, this hasn't been really active band. I mean, only a couple of albums in the early years, that is 1990s, and then kind of a slow paced with releasing stuff. But now they are back with really strong album, and nice looking digipack as well. Now this is kind of a mammoth considering it's 64 minutes of music, which is then again quite a lot for any kind of metal release, and even more so it feels like when we're talking about death and thrash hybrid. So, people who have been missing the whole band throughout their whole years, I don't know if I'm the right person. Let's say I'm not the right person to talk about this history because there's so much going on with the years. The band never was an actual hiatus, as far as I could tell. Yet there aren't too many albums out by the band. As you can see, there is this lineup image. Two of them are original member, one since 1994 or so, and two more newer ones. As you can see, pretty nice digipack from Xeno Corp. And this one actually includes a card like this. It's actually a download code underneath my finger. I'm not gonna show it to you, I'm gonna keep it to myself. This is so great an album. And what a thick booklet, as you can see. This obviously includes the lyrics. I'm just gonna go quickly through because if I would be showing you all the pages in the slow pace, it would take 30 minutes. Now the music, I was trying to figure out which bands this reminds me when I put this on my CD player. I was listening to this back and forth in my car, at my office, and man, I was enjoying. There's some great thrash riffs, but it's not pure thrash. It's kind of a half death metal, half thrash metal, and then it clicked. This reminds me of Polish band Vader. Vader has probably had more death metal than Mortuary, but it doesn't stop me of thinking that because there are lots of similarities with these bands. These are both aggressive, violent, fast tempo. They have some great drumming, some aggressive vocals, and really great riffing. But I think Vader is closer to death metal. Mortuary is towards thrash, at least a little bit more. I mean, some parts are just pure death metal, kind of a classic 1990s way, but you really cannot stop thinking about thrash metal when you're enjoying Mortuary. And I think these guys have found a perfect balance between thrash and death metal. Once you're kind of getting used, like, okay, now there's too much death metal, suddenly it sounds pure trash. And then look, okay, now I'm just kind of a need for a change with this thrash metal. Boom, you have it, death metal. So some parts are just death metal, some are trash, but it never feels like these two are, to be separated from each other. It's more like they are just like in a perfect match, kind of a yin-yang thing. You have to have the other half and the rest, of course. And that makes this kind of a perfect mix, kind of a blend that you didn't even know that you were hoping for. And when the production is just near perfect with this kind of music, with a little bit of complaints, I'm saying I cannot really bitch about a lot of this album. Now there are a couple of things which I hoped were a little bit different. First of all, the overall length. Some of these tracks are, in my opinion, too lengthy. When you go with like 7 minutes being death thrash song, it feels like you could have just quit around 4 or 5 minutes. So some tracks are, in my opinion, they're like, you're just having this kind of rubber band and you're trying to, when it gonna snap, boom, it snapped, oops. So it's like they are way too lengthy in my opinion. It could have been shorter. Also 64 minutes as a whole, it feels like I don't need that much. And the solution is not, hey, why don't you just listen half the album? But it isn't the solution because then I would be just skipping half the tracks. My point here is they could be a little bit more compact, and as such it would be closer to what Slayer was doing with Raining Blood and the like. So shorter songs would have been even better. Then they would probably be having a bullseye kind of an album here. I mean, it would be near perfect then. Some riffs are just magnificent, they are just great. Some are just good. And sometimes the guitar sound actually, I wouldn't say it irritates me, but it could be better. I mean, because there are parts, like in Memorial Vivo kind of a song where just guitar plays like din din and the drums go on like beating the blast beat, and you're like, this could use actually another guitar, and it could use a little bit more better sounding guitar. But these are obviously a little matter of taste. I mean, it's not a real flaw. It's more like it could have been done a little bit better. But obviously, these are just matters of taste, so don't take my word for that. Listen for yourself. I think this is a really, really solid album. One of the best albums in the genre for this year for sure. So definitely, if you're into that thrash kind of hybrids, you must be checking this out. Only for thrash allergics, I wouldn't recommend this, but anybody out there for extreme metal, go for it. Enjoy Mortuary. Thank you for watching. Should you have any comments, opinions, or whatever, put them on the box below and I'll get back to you.